in an auditorium, shows Phil Hartman as Donald Trump in front of a podium who says, thank you, I did it. 3 election victories in a row. I'm giving Michael Jordan a run for his money with my three-peat. In my first term, I had the best, very, very best economy until COVID happened. And COVID was released during my re-election campaign and ruined everything. Somehow Sleepy Joe Biden got 81 million votes. I don't buy it. But this goes onto YouTube, which will ban this video if I get into details. But that wasn't enough. First the Russian hoax, then 2 impeachments, then lawfare against me, cases everywhere, New York, Georgia, the federal courts, everywhere. They had my mugshot taken on trumped-up charges. Trumped-up charges against Trump, how about that? And a phony conviction based on what was written in our money books, ridiculous. Finding me liable for a case where the alleged victim, the bank, said they weren't hurt by the claim of what I did. And Fannie Willis, who couldn't keep it in her pants. And E. Jean Carroll, God almighty, I wouldn't fuck her with Joe Biden's dick. And they even tried to keep me off the ballot in many states. And of course they tried to kill me twice. Not once, but twice. I was a billionaire ex-president. If I didn't say I was robbed of an election and just went back to Mar-a-Lago and played golf all day, none of this would have happened. But I refuse to be silent, and I refuse to leave the American people high and dry. So here I am. I get to drink liberals' tears and get to make America great again. Liberals who performed a coup on Sleepy Joe and put up Kamala. That's how I say her name, and that's how it should be said, Kamala. And this bitch couldn't even talk. The hubris of the Democrats to put up an unpopular VP who never won a primary up against the Michael Jordan of politics. Ridiculous. And that's why I smoked her. I smoked Kamala. And without as much mail-in voting from COVID, it made it harder to cheat. And my win was too big to rig. And now I get to close the border, save the economy, end inflation, end boys and girls sports, end the Middle East crisis, and get Putin on the phone and end the Ukrainian war. And I don't drink alcohol, so my only liquid sustenance will be the tears of liberals. Liberals who drink the blood of children. Or at least that's what Alex Jones tells me. Anyway, I'm sorry this isn't that funny, even though this is a comedy show. But it's also an historical show, showing what happened, from one perspective anyway, in American history. Because even though hardly anyone listens to this now, eventually they will. And my big message is this. The liberals are the establishment, and I'm the anti-establishment. I'm the rogue, the outlaw, the badass, the cool guy. And I'm the one who will make the 2020s roar like they were in the 1920s. No more foreign wars and a roaring economy at home. Even if liberals don't like it, even if the establishment doesn't like it, even if mainstream media doesn't like it, even if the deep state doesn't like it, I'm going to once again make America great again. And dead from the earth, we're not alive. It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jan Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Phil Lesh, and your host, Teri Garr. Everybody, Teri Garr. Applause, applause, applause. Shows Garr on stage who says, thank you, I was an actress. Known for my comedic roles in film and television in the 70s and 80s, I often played women struggling to cope with the life-changing experiences of their husbands, children, or boyfriends. I hosted SNL 3 times. The first time was in season 5 and I was very nervous. My monologue was very short and I just said we were going to have a great time. The second time I hosted was in season 9 and I was a little bit more relaxed and did a bit about how the audience looked familiar because I'd hosted the show once before. And my third time hosting was in season 11, but SNL doesn't keep my monologue in the rerun, and I forgot what I did. So anyway, I know everyone is focused on the last election, and let me just say, Phil Hartman as Trump comes out and says, "Just say make America great again, and let me grab you by the pussy." Garr then knees Hartman in the groin and says, "Oh no, buddy, you had your turn." Folks, let me just say we have a great show tonight. Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead is here, and we'll be right back.